How you doing, everybody? Alright, so we got another video coming for you. This one, there is quite a bit out there, but I'm just going to post one just to make it at least more simplified. We got a Dodge with a 3.6 motor, the 3.6 Pensator motor, and we're doing an oil filter housing, which the oil filter housing is right here, runs along the head there. So what we're going to need to do is the intake has to come off, the air box has to come off, all the wiring here, the wiring harness, vent hoses have to come off. I already started this and I just wanted to get it done, but I figured, you know what, I'll post a video so people can find out how. That's the other part of the air box. It goes from here to there. Just undo the clamps, take it off. This hose, vent vacuum hose, goes here. Just take that off. This one runs there and goes here. Just take that one off. And then, like I said, just disconnect the throttle body, map sensor. Just those two, pretty much. You just have to pop them off of here. Little clips, and then there's one here. Just pop that off. So once I get these off, alright, so now we're going to tuck this back here a little bit, because we're not going to need it. There's another one right here. I mean, you don't have to take that one off, but it makes it a little easier. Hang on a second. Somebody at the shop broke my trim tool, so I gotta do what I gotta do. Use something else. Okay, it's off. All right. So once you get all those off, and even this one's always a pain in the butt too. There's one right here. This tab you just gotta kind of pop up. If I can get it. Come on. There we go. Alright, so this one, that comes off like that, and then your whole air box itself basically just comes off. You can pull it out through here. Usually it's supposed to have rubber grommets there. Most of them don't, because somebody has been in here once or twice. So it just comes off. This also works if you're doing valve cover gaskets or just the basic tune-up. You still have to take all this off because the other three plugs are right under here on the front side, 2, 4, and 6. As 1, 3, and 5 are right there. Those are easier. You don't have to take this off. But in this case, we do. So now the other thing. Let's get my short 10 here, because you're gonna have to take this bolt and this one here. Take those off. So let's do that real quick. There's also two back here on this bracket. Of course, somebody took that bolt off already. Never put it back on. Awesome. So the bracket here, it's supposed to be bolted on by a 13. And then there's a nut right behind it that holds, hold on. Behind here on the post, that holds this bracket. But you got to take that off and this one off. Anyway, so yeah, somebody's been in here and didn't put everything back the way it was supposed to. And actually, oh well, look at that. That one's already gone. I didn't even notice that. Alright, so make sure you don't drop these, because that's probably why the one's not there. Alright, so let's move this down. this off. Now sometimes, and I dropped it, okay. I heard it hit the ground, so that's good. Sometimes the nut itself won't come off. The whole post will come out of the airbox, which that sometimes is preferred because it makes it a little easier. So now usually what I do is I take something and put it in between here, in between the bracket and the intake, and just kind of bend it back. Don't worry, you're not doing any harm to anything by doing that, besides the bracket. Okay, so as you bend it back, now you have access, you can just leave it there. So that way, if it's a pain in the ass to get to that bolt or to get that bracket off, you don't have to worry about it, because these, they just slide right out as long as you bend those. So now, what we're going to do is we are going to get a good prop here. Can't really see. I guess I'll just do this all with one hand. Alright, so you're going to need a 1/4 inch 8. I prefer an extension, but take all the bolts out. There, this one, this one. And you gotta go in here. There's one down in that tube. Down in this tube. And then one final one over here. So you'll feel it come loose. Obviously, it's loose now. See, now it just picks up, and you can literally just pull it up with one hand and just pull it out. It's stuck. Alright, so the bracket is actually stuck on here. I don't know why. So let's loosen the bracket. Yeah, the bracket. I think somebody. Yeah, damn it. Alright. So somebody messed this up. Because the washer is still there. You can see that. So somebody fucked this up. So I'm just gonna, the post is already loose, which is actually nice for me right now. So I don't like doing it, but to get to this post, sometimes you have to bend this bracket a little bit. I mean, it's very flimsy, but just try not to bend the hoses too much, because that would suck if you broke those. Alright, so I took the post out. It was already just laying there. So now I'll take this up. And I gotta take more things off. Right here. Alright. Come on. So make sure when you do a job, you go over everything. Make sure nobody, butchered anything or did anything the wrong way. So now that that's off, the bracket's going to stay because it's seized, and it comes right off. So you don't have to do anything with the upper intake. So now, with the intake off, you got a little foam piece here. Just take that, move it to the side, and there you go. You do your tune-up, both side plugs, and then you can get to your filter housing, valve covers, you know, everything's right there. So if you ever do the valve covers, I'll just do a brief with you. Take this out. Don't rip it out. Take that bolt out, and then as you move it up and down, just twist it a little bit and just carefully remove it. Same thing on the other side, this one here. Pull all your hoses out of the way, disconnect your phasers on both sides, and then just take off all your bolts to the valve cover, and there you go. But obviously first, unplug your coils, take your coils out, then do the valve covers. The oil filter housing, you're gonna have to take this. That's your fuel line, fuel disconnect. And if it is gonna work with me, of course it's not. Why is this going? Alright, so it's being a pain in the ass. So I need a pick to get those out, because you got to take these little wings and pop them so that you can release it. But yeah, to do that, you're gonna have to take your plenum off. So let me just unplug my coils, and then you're gonna have to unplug the injectors too. 1, 2, 3. They have locking tabs on them, so unplug those. And then take your pop clips out, and then once you do it on both sides, the harness itself, just take it and move it over here, like flip it up. Then you're gonna use the 8s, just take off your bolts there, 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 and so on to get to the oil filter housing. So I need 2 hands right now, so I'll be right back. Let me just get the harness off and the fuel. So hang on 1 second. Okay, so I'm back. I got the fuel rail off, fuel connect. Took out the injectors on both sides. So like I said, just take this harness, come over here, tuck it under this hose, take this one, put it, stuff it in the air box. Alright, so now we're going to take the plenum off. So what you do, don't take these ones off. You don't have to. Those are only to the fuel rail. You only have to take off all the 8 mils from there. And since I know somebody was in here before, I'm hoping that they didn't crack the plenum, because that would suck. That was another tight one. And also make sure every time you do this, on the plenum itself, the gaskets. These ones up top, and there's going to be ones on the bottom. Make sure you replace the gaskets every time you have these off. So all those are up. Now just give it a little wiggle. You can even take it by here, and that comes right off. There's the bottom gaskets, top gaskets. Always replace them. Set that aside, and boom. There is your oil filter housing. So most of the time, some of them, they don't come with your sensors, so you'd have to crank those out of the filter housing, which I know very much sucks, especially if you don't have the right tools on hand. So take that, all right, unplug this one, tuck that to the side. You can unplug the bottom one, tuck that to the side, and then you're going to have your coolant hose going to the oil filter housing. So you are also going to need inverted Torx for those. So there's one down here, there's two there, and then two over here. If you don't have any inverted, you could use a socket. Just be careful, because you don't really want to strip them, and it's going to be like a 6, I believe. I usually always use my inverts, but I don't, of course, have them with me. So let's see. Alright, so a 6 is a little too small. A 7 would work. Just like I said, just be careful. Not to strip them out. Of course, all my inverts are at the okay. Alright. So that's basically the gist of it. Yeah, when you take that out, when you put the new one in, make sure, I know from 2014 to 2019 or 20, you have to have a certain O-ring to the tube on here, down right there. Usually, new ones, get a Mopar one, because those are the best ones. It's worth it, because they come with 2 O-rings, a black one and a red one. If it's between 14 and 20, I believe, it's the red one. If it's a newer model, then you can still use the black one that's already on there. But make sure you have the right O-ring, or else it's going to leak again, and then you're going to be doing this all over again. So that's the gist of it. I'm going to leave you guys right here. Just reverse process on everything there of what I did. Just make sure you do not over tighten. Once you run the plenum back on and the intake, just run them till it stops. Then stop. Do them on every one of them, and do middle first, and then crossed. Run them till they stop, and then just give it a little bit hand till you can't. Do not crack them. But before you do all that, just clean this up on every one of them. Even when you take the oil filter housing off, just clean up a little bit inside. And then, like I said, just reverse process everything, put everything back together as it was, start it up, and you're golden. That's it for this one today. If you need any more questions or comments or anything, feel free to comment or message or whatever, and I will answer any question you have on this. So like I said, I'm going to leave you at that. Have a good day, like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more.